NASCAR has chosen its new postseason format, or an old postseason format. I'm going to explain for those who are new to understanding NASCAR what the playoff system was, what the return to the chase looks like, and how it could impact NASCAR in the future. Starting off, the playoffs was a postseason that went through 3 different stages over the last 10 races. The top 16 drivers, so it would be all of the race winners, and then the top however many in points who didn't win races would be entered into the postseason. And then if you won in each of the 3 subsequent rounds, you could advance. It was a win in your in system. And then for the championship 4, it was even points. Anywhere else, you got stage points, so each third of the race roughly, and your end of race points would come together to figure out whether or not you were above or below the cut line. So 16 would go down to 12, would go down to 8, and then you'd have 4 people guaranteed to be fighting out for the championship. It had been that format for about a decade before this switched back to the chase. And now, yes, the chase format. So it's still a postseason, but it's that final race run. So that final 10 races, or in the other sports series, I think it's going to be 9 for O'Reilly Auto Parts, what was Xfinity, and 7 for the Craftsman Truck Series because they have more compact schedules. The chase will be that long. Now, it is 16 drivers for the Cup Series still, and much like it was for playoffs, 12 for the auto parts and 10 for the trucks. So the same amount of drivers will qualify, but it goes off of full season points, and then you end up with the boost up for the chase, and it sets the starting points. The champion for the regular season is on 2100. Then it's 2075 for second, 2065 for third, and then it goes down in increments of 5 points down to 2000 points for 16th place. So it rewards consistency. It doesn't necessarily reward winning, and that is going to be the difference when it comes to talking about this format. Because, put simply, the people who can absolutely dominate on one type of track have to show up on other types of track. Shane Van Gisbergen has picked up since his first playoff appearance last season. He needs to be more consistent on the ovals. He can't just rely on being a road course ringer and going out and winning every road course. Not least because he's got a rookie teammate, Connor Zilic, who is also amazing at road courses. And for Zilic, it is going to be one of those things of just hammering home the consistency. It means it's less likely we will see a Ricky Stenhouse, for example, making it into the playoffs, or somebody like a Harrison Burton in 2024. Arguably, somebody like a Josh Berry in 2025 as well. We've had some people who are way down 25th, 30th in points end up in the postseason because they simply won a race. For someone like Connor Zilic, it's too little too late. He would have absolutely ripped through the Xfinity Series last season had he had the chase format. In fact, it was because it was the one race shootout that he didn't. But for the other 2 championships, the National Series, it would have stayed the same, I believe. I believe Kyle Larson would have stayed as Cup Series champion, and the same when it comes to the Truck Series. Truck Series would not have changed either. So it is all down to making sure that someone like Zilic can have that record-breaking season and be rewarded with the championship. He was by far the best Xfinity driver last season. So overall, what do I reckon? Well, I was actually working on a series, a sort of mini-series on this channel, talking about playoffs in motorsports, and I think it shows that this kind of thing that you're used to for stick and ball sports, I mean, the NFL's in its postseason now, it's just had its wildcard round, doesn't really translate across to motor racing in the same way. So, for instance, Denny Hamlin and... was it Hamlin and Briscoe both blew motors at Martinsville on the way to the Phoenix finale, but because they'd already won their way in, it wasn't an issue. So, I mean, I think it's good because it means that teams can't just go, okay, we're going to go for broke, win here, here, and here, and get the championship. Otherwise known for the haters as Joey Logano 2024. Like, he won when he had to, and that's how he ended up the champion. I'm hoping that it means that people don't put asterisks next to playoff champions because, I mean, Larson's 2, he was by far, statistically, the person who should have won the championship. it would change the narrative of it. It would change it as him being one step ahead going into the finale, and potentially giving Denny underdog status because of, well, no, it wouldn't for Mexico City, because it got reset for the final 10 races. But it makes every race more important. But those are my thoughts, those are my feelings, those are my observations. As always, folks, thank you so much for watching and joining, and till next time, it's bye for now.